We are ready for this match. We have to earn points for arrive first or second in the ranking, and there too because they want knockout stage. So will be a derby for us because Celtic have 2 players from Italy and our are 3, so it's like 5-on-6. And will be a great game. We played a lot training, and our mind is like the previous match versus Barcelona. So we will try to win both games and try to arrive first.
We know it's a very difficult game. It's an Italian derby, but we want the victory. We want to win at least 3 points. I think it could be good, 3 points for us, but we will see. We are working for get it, and we will see.
Yeah, so Juventus versus Celtic, Harry. Juventus, obviously, you would imagine on paper, due to the league table, would be favourites. We have, of course, the 2 prize winners from Matchday 5 as well. We have Horcha, the best goal scorer with €10,000, up against Il Distratore, who won MVP as well.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic in this match, especially when you consider that, but also it's like Etorito said. I mean, 5 out of the 6 players in this lobby and in this game are from Italy. On the one side, you would argue that Juventus's players, in terms of Italy as a nation, would be the stronger 3. But don't count out Gagliardo and of course Umbi as well. They're both eFootball Open World finalists from last year. And they've proven, of course, in the eFootball.Pro they can score goals as well. But I think Juventus on paper certainly the favourites here. Celtic, though, as Torito said in the interview, they'll be very hungry. They need to chase those playoff spots and they need to, obtain points to do so. So this is by no means going to be easy for Juventus.
Yeah, Juventus kind of turned back into the potential champions that we thought they might be in Matchday 5, and they almost took a very early lead there, and they've won a corner, headed down, and it's over the top. Lightning start from Juventus, Harry.
Well, it's from Celtic, actually, I believe, who've had a lively start. But yeah, Juventus taking 6 points away from Barcelona last week, I think, just reminded everyone that Juve are still a high-caliber club in this competition. And they, again, haven't really missed a beat this season, but Celtic have started very strong.
They have. They're in again here. I'll have to apologise. My colour blindness playing tricks on me. I thought it was green and white stripes and not the black and white from where I'm sat here. That's my excuse anyway. But Juventus just managing to calm things down, like you said, after a great start for Celtic. And, if there's a sign of things to come, we're expecting a bit of a firestorm here in this first game.
Yeah, good to see Celtic really trying to attack the back line of Juve. They've held strong so far. Have the old lady, but if you keep probing that back line, eventually one of the players in the 3 is going to miss a step or at some point going to make a mistake. So Celtic, though, building very early.
Yeah, they've got another chance, and it's a whisker wide of the target. And how many more chances are Juventus going to allow Celtic before they're punished? Is this complacency from Juventus, Harry? Or is it simply that Celtic are playing very, very well?
Well, they've started the game really well. And I don't think they were expecting Umbi, who eventually pulled the trigger, to do so from there. As soon as he turned his man, he pulled the trigger and, well, Juventus have started out very, very slowly. They haven't looked as succinct as they did in the previous match day against Barcelona, where, of course, they took all 3 points in each of the 2 games. And as we said, on paper, Juve looked the favourites here, but Celtic have started much stronger.
Yeah, but there's your first chance for Juventus, and right on cue, it's Il Distruttore yet again. MVP from Matchday 5, and it looks like he might have just curled in a wonderful left wand of a finish. Juventus 1, Celtic 0.
I'll just leave, shall I? I'll be quiet, and I'm sorry to any Celtic fans, because just as I was praising them, it's Juve who take the chance. It's Los Scandalo, who actually scores, by the way, his first assist of the season, laying it off to Il Distruttore, who last match day 2 weeks ago, scored a very similar goal with Paulo Dybala, of course, with his left foot. He's obviously a favourite of Luca Tubelli, and that's his 9th of the season now, Il Distruttore.
Are we seeing the reincarnation or the evolution of Luca Tubelli, Harry? Because he's turning into this absolute fox in the box, Inzaghi-style finisher.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's interesting to see.
Great response though from Celtic, and that might have just claimed best goal of the match day. An incredible scissors volley into the top right-hand corner, and look at the response from the players. They know that's special, Harry.
Oh my Lord. This is special. I can't wait to see this replay. I mean,
Goal of the match
we've
day,
seen
goal
it
of the
several
tournament.
times this match day. Winning that second ball in the box is so pivotal. But the finish, look at the reactions say it all.
Lovely to see, lovely stuff. Juventus starting brilliantly after a tricky period, but Celtic with an instant response and a goal of the highest quality. And like I said, Harry, that might have just claimed goal of the tournament. An incredible finish.
That's absolutely wondrous. A tremendous finish indeed.
Well, they're on the front foot again here. Another chance! Oh! Scrap that! Umbi might have just scored another one. Oh my word! What on earth are we seeing here?
We don't get anything.
Juventus are single-handedly having a best goal of the tournament themselves.
What is in the Celtic water? Because this is ridiculous. Touch, bang. No saving that. I mean, take your pick. I mean, whoever is on the panel for choosing best goal of the match day, all you have to do is watch the last 20 minutes. And it's there are your options, because these are absolutely ridiculous goals that Celtic
Hang on,
are scoring.
Harry. We've got at least another game and a half yet. We may have another 5 to choose from Celtic. You never know.
I mean, not only the quality they're scoring, but also don't forget the quantity. That puts them in the lead now against Juventus. And well, Umbi, take a bow, my friend.
Well, but Juventus looking for an instant response here. Of course, let's calm ourselves down, because we know that as good as those 2 goals have been, these Celtic lads will not care if they don't take points from today. So 2-1 up, looking pretty, half an hour gone, long way to go.
You know what? There are some points where I miss being in the eFootball.Pro IQONIQ studio. Those 2 goals, I think I'm quite grateful.
I would have had you taken off the chair.
I'm very
I would have been
grateful
jumping all
I'm at
over
home, because I think I would have been flung into the stratosphere by you right then.
I would have been tangled in headphone cables and all sorts as the ball gets smashed away and out of play for a corner. Wow, this game has lit up the day. As good as it's been, I'm sorry, the last 10 minutes have just topped it as the ball gets smashed into the back of Bitton and out of play for a throw. Juventus with a good response after going down, I must say. A professional performance, looking to equalise Still a long way to go, as we know, and when you've got the likes of Ildistratore and Etorito and Lo Scandalo, anything is possible. And remember, Celtic going to this game on a pretty poor run of form. They had a half-decent matchday 5, but before that, they were in real dire straits at times. They've woken up today, though, so far. And they're in again here.
Yeah, worth remembering, of course, as you said, the calibre of player Juventus have on their lineup this season. Defensively, they look a bit all over the place at the moment, though.
It's almost like Celtic have watched what Galatasaray did in the last game and noticed how they were playing quite reserved, defensive, and they've gone, right, let's go the opposite straight from the start, because it could have played a similar sort of vein here.
Yeah, they've flipped the script entirely.
In towards the near post, headed away towards the edge, picked up by Porcha. The captain now finds Gagliardo. And he's forced another corner, and we know they're dangerous from set pieces. Again, it's towards the back post, looking for that nod down, looking for the volley. It drops. Oh! Had to get it on target, just couldn't quite pull the trigger. I think it was Umbi who tried to take a touch. He could have just smashed that first time. It might have been 3.
Yeah, I think Celtic are quite annoyed the referee's not giving anything there either. Smashed out for a corner. Smartly so, but yeah, I think it was Horcha in the end who tried to take that touch, but I mean, it's been bundled over in the box. I've seen them given. The referee said no.
Juventus hanging on at the end of the first half, but they flicked it and they've got it out of nothing. Straight down the throat of the goalkeeper, and the referee, with the whistle to his lips, is bringing to an end possibly the best half of eFootball.Pro we've seen so far today. It's been littered, because even the Juventus goal was a really, really tidy finish from Ildistratore. Take nothing away from him, but it has been overshadowed. But it could get worse here, and it's Juventus who are in again. But it's straight down the throat of the goalkeeper.
I mean, half-time can't come soon enough, not only for the players, but for me as well. I just need to regain my composure. Celtic have been absolutely phenomenal in that first half of play. And the 2 goals they've scored are 2 of the best we've seen all season long.
Now,
if you're Juventus, I mean, that's such a sucker punch. Not only, as I said before, that the quantity of the goals, obviously now you were leading and now you're behind, but also the quality. You just have to stand back and admire the finishes from the Celtic boys.
Well, hang on, Celtic are in again right at the start of the second half. What on earth is happening? The Juventus defence are in disarray, and they've gifted Celtic a third. All over the place at the back, Harry.
And it's shambolic. Shambolic defending. I think they'll be quite annoyed that this touch has gone all the way through, but I mean, where are the players covering here for Juve? Credit to Gagliardo, he still had to get the job done and get the finish home. He did so perfectly. I believe it's Umbi providing the assist in the end. But that's Celtic 3-1 up now.
But it's just
Gagliardo with the fact 3rd of the season, and don't forget he was only introduced on matchday 4, I think, replacing Patanegra on this Celtic team. Juve have work to do.
They certainly do, and they might look to try and reduce the deficit here through Lo Scandalo and Etorito and co, but it's smuggled behind. I mean, yes, Juventus will be disappointed with the touch that led to the mistake. But the simple fact is, the 2 players that reacted the quickest were both Celtic. It could have been either one of them, and it just so happened that it didn't really matter because he tucked it home. And it's 3-1 to Celtic right at the start of the second half. And if they can compound that by a period of limited Juventus pressure, they could be well on their way to 3 huge points here. And to top it off, 2 of the best goals you're likely to see So the ball gets... Yeah, you certainly can't say the third goal was something of beauty, could you, Harry?
I mean, certainly not. And I'll tell you what else has been ugly. Has been this Juve defence in this second half. They're all over the shop.
Towards the back post again. They get the knock down. It's off the crossbar. It could have been. It should have been 4. I'm lost. I'm lost for words here, Harry. I really am. I'm seeing a complete and utter meltdown of a Juventus defence who absolutely demolished one of the best teams in the league last match day in Barcelona. Again, let's not count our chickens yet, because Juventus have still got a lot of time to turn this around. But regardless of the result now, they have a lot of work to do defensively going forwards, because if we see this sort of performance again, they could see chances of a title slip out of their grasp.
And what's crazy about this is that entering the match day, Juventus had conceded the least goals. I mean, they had only conceded 13. The next nearest, I think, was something like 16. So they had the best defensive record in the league, and Celtic have just turned up and done this.
They're winning everything. The press from Celtic is huge. They're on the front foot all the time. And Juventus, they're just drowning at the moment.
Absolutely suffocating pressure. They are getting a bit of fortune. We saw it there after Gagliardo's double touch. He was able to ride the challenge of the Juventus defender. So there is fortune going their way, but Juve, they have to keep their heads here, because right now it's all Celtic.
30 minutes for Juventus to turn this game around. Otherwise, you'd have to say Celtic will have produced one of the performances of eFootball.Pro so far. They're in again here. A chance for 4. It's across the face. It's Horta, the captain. It's Celtic 4. It's Juventus 1. And this is utterly spellbinding.
I'm speechless. I am absolutely speechless. Bottom of the table Celtic are doing this to the best defence in the league. It's 4-1, and it's not as if these are lucky goals. This is incredible play, and they're playing for each other. They're all involved in the build-up. They're so direct. Juve, they look like lost children looking for their parents in the supermarket. They just cannot seem to get anywhere near the ball, and they look lost.
I mean, Los Gonzalez's face there says it all. He literally does not know what to do. I've even just invented a whole new word as well. That's how crazy this game has been. I meant to say spellbinding, and I said spellbounding, which I think it sounds even better. But it's just madness what we're seeing.
And just look at the Juve boys. They don't know what's happening. We don't know what's happening.
I don't think Celtic know what's happening. Where's this team been?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Brown, bro. Yes, of course. Logic, okay.
Now, come on.
Has also very good
Let's calm things down.
And Brown, abbassa un po'.
¿Lo bajo más?
Poquito.
Okay, like the defensive midfielder or normal?
No, continua così.
Okay, like this? A little more.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Put defensive.
Half an hour to go, Harry. Still time for Juventus to turn this game around, because this would be absolutely one of the most demoralising things to happen if Celtic were not to take 3 points from this game now. And it can happen. We've seen things like this happen.
We have, but I mean, looking at the body language from the Juve lads, I don't think they believe they can do this. And the way things have been going so far, it's looked all one-way traffic entirely. As the ball's been played out of play, I don't know exactly. Something's wrong with Torre's controller, maybe. But I mean, this has been an imperious performance. I use the word often, but this really has from Celtic. Every single chance that has come their way, they've looked like scoring. I mean, 5 shots on target, converted into 4 goals. It's ridiculous. And I love to hear the passion from the Celtic boys. I mean, Gagliardo especially. I mean, he's in the zone right now. And this means an awful lot to he and Umbi as well when you consider Eterito, Il Distruttore, Lo Scandalo regarded as some of the best players in Italy. This is almost like a graduation for them, like a coming of age after coming up through the eFootball Open program in 2020. Both of them were world finalists. They now find themselves in the eFootball.Pro IQONIQ, playing for Celtic in a game against a club that is looking to win the title. It's a game that Celtic must take some points from in order to not be cut adrift and chase the playoff spots. They're beating them 4-1.
Well, Juventus 1, Celtic 4 is the score. Is that something in your wildest dreams you could think of as a Celtic fan going into today, Harry?
I mean, I don't think so. It's just how wild this season has been. And we all knew it, working from home and playing from home, and the nature of all the pitfalls that situation represents. We knew it would throw up some wacky results and some strange situations in the league table, but nothing like this. I mean, this is something else.
Well, I've been told by the production team to stop getting so excited, but it's impossible. Thus, the game has been just incredible, an incredible spectacle to watch. And yeah, slight technical difficulties going on at the moment. Probably needed that brief respite, Harry, just to calm ourselves down.
I think you're right. And again, it comes back to me saying that I'm so happy we're not in the studio, because I think I'd be covered in bruises at the moment just from you shaking my chair aggressively, as you always do. I do miss the studio, and I love hearing the player reactions up on the stage. Hopefully at some point in the not too distant future, it'll be something we can get back to. But yeah, I think my body is very happy that I'm not there with you right now.
So, let's do the two scenarios, Harry. The game remains the same, and well, let's do the one scenario. The game remains the same, and Celtic go on to win, take 3 points. What do you do in the second game if you're Juventus?
You have to change something, because whether it's throwing an extra body back there at the back is, I mean, you have to change something defensively, because, I mean, you've shipped 4 goals and the game's not even over. That, by Juventus' standards, not good enough. And, well, Celtic are in again.
Oh, Celtic are in again. Here's Horcha, plays it across the face. And it's Gagliardo. This is going from the majestic to the absurd. It's Juventus 1, Celtic 5.
And I'll repeat that for people at home. Celtic 5, Juventus 1 is, I mean, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. We have some technical difficulties between the players, so we'll make sure that everything is at the utmost in terms of competitive integrity. That's what we're all about here, of course. But 5-1. 5-1.
Well, let's just calm ourselves down. Obviously, we'll address what's going to happen going forwards. Obviously, with the restart of the game, etc. But let's just talk about some of the goals that we saw. Of course, first of all, the scissors volley, which was unreal. Talk us through that one, Harry. I know we may not have it on the screen, but I'm sure it'll live long in your memory.
It comes back to the kind of the archetype of eFootball that we've been seeing this season from the likes of AS Roma, Bayern Munchen, you know, trying to work corners and throw-ins, and then winning the header and trying to work the second ball as the opportunity. It comes from a corner, it goes to the back post, that second ball is won, and then it just falls so kindly, so kindly to be hit perfectly on the volley, and then it finds itself in the back of the net. That was the first ridiculous goal, and I think the thing that would have disheartened Juventus a lot is the fact that it came so close after Juventus scored their first goal. Don't forget, Juventus were leading in that game, and it looked like they could maybe run away with it before half-time. And then Celtic comes straight back with the instant response. Not only that one, but then the second one as well, which was another sucker punch.
Yeah, I mean, we are waiting for clarification about where we go from here. The word is that some of the players were experiencing some technical difficulties. So we'll obviously get the game back underway as soon as we can. Celtic are brilliant. You know, regardless of anything, it's been a really nice showing from them. Just the way they were able to take the game by the scruff of the neck. They came out so aggressively, Harry.
They did, and it's nice to see, because oftentimes you see clubs in the league who find themselves lower down in the table. I won't name any names, but they often try and sit back and then try and hit on the counter and go for a result that way. It's nice to see teams try and knock the door down. These teams that are in the top half of the table, in the playoff spots, chasing the top two, the league title, they aren't impervious at the back. They aren't immovable objects. It's nice to see Celtic recognise that and say, you know what, we're not going to win this game by sitting back and playing defence, because we know these teams can break us down. Let's go forward. Let's try and break them down. Let's try and do the same thing that they do to us, to them. And it just so happened that out of the 5 shots they had on target, they had 9 shots, by the way, Celtic, when we last had a glimpse of it. Of the 5 shots they had on target when they were up 4-1, they'd scored 4 of them. And that's a ridiculous clinicality. I don't know if that's a word. I just made one up.
I said spellbounding in the last game.
That they possessed. And it's good to see. It's what we want to see from these lower town teams. We don't want to see them, you know, just roll over, show their bellies and try and tuttle up and maybe squeak a 1-0 win or something like that. We want to see them go forwards, play attacking football, and credit to Celtic, because they really, I think, proved to everyone, including us, that they deserve to be in that conversation as well of those top 6 spots. And it's crazy because we have 10 clubs in the eFootball.Pro IQONIQ that can be in that top 6, but there's only 6 spots for them to get into the postseason. That's just how crazy this entire league is this year.
Yeah, so according to the rules of the tournament as a whole, due to the fact that the game was actually abandoned before I'm just getting the information right now, because it was abandoned before the 85th minute due to technical difficulties, the game will be a rematch, and the scores of the 2 matches will be added, and we will basically get the game underway as soon as we can. Of course, we will go into more detail and information if you need it as we go through the game. But regardless of anything, Harry, Celtic have got to take a lot of heart from that performance that we saw just then.
Oh, absolutely. And if that is the case and that's the rules that we're playing by, Celtic still have a 4-goal advantage going into this next 90 minutes, which already is a perfect lead. But when you combine that with how clinical Celtic were and how happy they were to attack the Juventus defence, and how many mistakes as well we saw from Juve's defence, that could be more than 4. That could be, I mean, we could be seeing 5, 6, 7 by the end of this first set of 90 minutes. So I think it's probably the fairest way to do it. I mean, on the one hand, yeah, it's unfortunate that the match was abandoned, but at the same time, Celtic worked so hard.
It's difficult to scrap the whole game, yeah.
Exactly. So you don't want to completely disregard Celtic's hard work. But yeah, if there's a team that can do it, it's Juve, and bring back a 4-goal deficit. But the way Celtic played in that first game, very impressive.
So Harry, predictions?
It'll be a 0-0, I reckon. Yeah. No, I don't know. I really don't know. It depends if Juve make any, we use the word adjustments so often, but they need to do something defensively to stop Celtic's attack, because it's not even like Celtic were attacking in numbers. It was more that they were just able to find the clinical, key, decisive, sharp, incisive passes that Juve just weren't anticipating and weren't able to react to in time. So whether it's an extra body back there, maybe you play 5 at the back to try and have an extra member of personnel in order to just make things a little bit easier to react to those passes? I'm not sure, but yeah, again, I will have to see in this rematch.
Yeah, so just an added bit of information. We will just be doing a restart of the second 45 minutes because the crash happened in the second half. So the scores will remain the same, but we will just play 45 minutes of this first game, and then we will have another full game afterwards, if you understand what I mean. Unfortunately,
so
it is
45 minutes for Juve to get 4 goals and not concede any.
Unfortunately, this is the nature of the situation we're in the global situation at the moment. We do have to obviously all sort of team together and do things from home. You'll notice the occasional technical difficulties just in the normal stream, and partly that's due to internet, etc., around the world. These are the problems that we didn't have to face a mere year ago, Harry, but hopefully these will be a thing of the past soon. But let's just hope the quality of the in-game performances maintains at the highest level, which it has done so far.
I mean, credit to Konami and the team behind the eFootball.Pro IQONIQ. The fact that this is the first real bump in the road we've had, and we're on match day 6 now, towards the end of match day 6. Like, that is a very, very commendable thing. The fact that we've come this far, and this is our first real instance of a rematch that I can remember. I know we had an instance between Schalke and Bayern, but that was very swiftly resolved. So, like you said, it is difficult playing in these circumstances. I mean, the whole world is struggling currently, but the show goes on. 45 minutes for Juve to score 4. They can do it, but they have to throw everything at this 45 minutes.
All I know, Harry, is that it's going to be electric, because Juventus are going to come flying out of the blocks, and they'll either take the game by storm or they'll be hugely susceptible on the counter-attack, and that is what I can foresee. And, maybe we will get some kind of incredible drama yet again. Let's find out. Juventus versus Celtic. Technically the second half, with the first half ending 5-1 to Celtic. Again, apologies for the technicals, but I'm sure, as I am, you'll be happy just listening to Harry waffle away with his beautiful face. So here we go. The second half, technically, of Juventus versus Celtic. Celtic are leading by 5-1. Ignore the score at the top left-hand side. And Juventus basically have 45 minutes to score 4 goals.
Yeah, and this...
Can they do it, Harry?
Psychologically, it's already a huge ask, because, in your head you're thinking, it's the first half. Don't worry, we've got the second half to come. But then you have to remember, oh, wait, no, I don't. I don't have the second half. I have to get all of these goals. We have to get all of these goals in this 45-minute period. So psychologically already, your mind is kind of playing tricks on you. You have to go for it. You absolutely have to if you're Juve. There's nothing to lose at this point. You're staring down the barrel of a 4-goal differential. And if you're Celtic, you do just this. You make it scrappy, you make it difficult for Juve, you try and frustrate them, because don't forget, we still have the second game to come after this. So definitely a difficult one for Juve. Celtic, all they need to do is defend.
Yes, they do, as the ball gets played out of play for a corner to be taken on the near touchline.
There's a real chance here maybe for Juve to make something happen, but it is Celtic who come forward. Horcho on the ball. Has Umbi ahead of him. Still has Gagliardo to find as well. It's swung in, might come back to Umbi actually. Instead, it's going to break here. Eterito. Distrutore back to Eterito. Has Lo Scandalo to find. That's a naughty challenge, but still... the advantage played, it's pulled back. And a free kick to Juve.
Cristiano Ronaldo is over the ball, but he's given it to his teammate to step up instead. And it will be Il Distratore, a man who has been in and amongst the goals all season long. He plays it short to Lo Scandalo, in towards Eterito. Chance to turn. Hacked away. And a chance to play it forwards. And now Lo Scandalo on the left-hand side. One back by Gagliardo. 18 minutes gone here still. 5-1 to Celtic, technically. And just 30 minutes remaining for Juventus to score 4. And look at that, as if by magic, the scores just flew onto the screen. That is production magic as the ball gets played in towards the penalty area. And Juventus have hit the post.
And with only just over 20 in-game minutes to half-time, you need some of those to go your way. You're not going to get too many more chances like that without, I mean, backs to the wall defending Celtic will be doing.
It could have made things very interesting indeed had that have gone in, but you feel to get 4 in 45, everything needs to go your way, and unfortunately for them, it's hit the inside of the post and away to safety. Corner on the far touchline, played in towards the near post, tried to get the shot away, couldn't, hacked away, still in the danger area, plays it through, looking for Eterito. Great defending from Mumby.
Yeah, great defending. Not only the clearance there for the corner, but also the work rate before was absolutely tip-top.
Half an hour gone. Chance here, Cristiano Ronaldo, and it's that man again. It's Luca Tubelli. He just cannot stop scoring right now. But is it enough, Harry? They're halfway through the half and they need another 3. Stranger things have happened.
Well, I think the muted celebrations will tell you all you need to know. I don't think the belief is there. I think they know they have eyes now for this second game. You're right, stranger things have happened, but looking incredibly unlikely. Lo Scandalo with his second assist of the season into Il Distratore, who now is up to double digits in terms of goals, 10 on the season for the 2016 Italian champion. But it's too little too late, isn't it? It's come way too late in this, what is essentially the second half of this replay.
Well, one more goal now, Harry, in the next 5 minutes. You never know. There's confirmation of the 10th goal, double digits now for Il Distratore. A wonderful campaign, especially in the last 2 match days. He's probably, alongside Lotfi, maybe the form player of the tournament.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's kind of those middle players, isn't it? Like Il Distratore, as you say, Lotfi, even the Palma for Barcelona. They're all really stepping up this season, and it's great to see.
Celtic come again, though. Oh. Why not when you're 5-2 up, Harry? Why not?
I think that was the rationale from Mumby here. Everyone looking inside the box. Who's he going to play the ball to? Il Distratore comes across, but yeah, pretty tame in the end by Mumby. It won't matter, though. The only thing that matters is that 5-2 scoreline.
10 minutes remaining. Juventus need 3. Gagliardo on the turn. Offside flag is raised. Celtic just happy to have the ball down that end of the pitch. Obviously, the slight technical difficulties have maybe overshadowed what we saw in terms of the goals. Let's just remind ourselves that we have seen 2 of quite possibly the best goals of the campaign so far from Celtic. And I, for one, am very much looking forward to the replays after the game.
Oh, yes.
5 minutes left. Ronaldo turns it around the corner. Morata, chance for Juventus again. Down under the challenge. Referee unmoved and cleared away.
It was Etorito who was in. And he tried to play his friend in, but instead it's blocked.
And Celtic almost smuggled the way through again as Umbi taking the game to Juventus yet again. Juventus possibly with the last attack of this first game here. A game that has been well and truly dominated by Celtic in a way that even the wildest Celtic fan wouldn't have believed. Etorito finds Loscandalo. Back to Etorito again. And a few cheers for the final whistle have been muted because it was a free kick actually awarded and a chance for Ronaldo and Loscandalo to reduce the deficit. He goes short to Etorito, hacked away. Surely that's it. And a historic victory for Celtic in the eFootball.Pro. The score on the screen says 1-0 half-time. But of course, due to technical difficulties, that is the case. It has finished the first game here. Celtic 5, Juventus 2.
Well, of course, credit to our referees as well. On top of things, as always, making sure all the rules are maintained throughout. Look at that score sheet. 7 goals in the first game. I mean, technical difficulties aside, look at the run that we saw from Celtic. I mean, they scored so many without reply.
Well, here's the moment, Harry. Here are the replays that we're going to see. That was the first chance for Juventus, and it was smartly taken by Il Distratore, and we thought it was business as usual, and then this happened.
Again, it's the second ball that is so vital to this. And then Edouard again. Absolutely, I mean, it's a thunderbolt. An absolute thunderbolt into the back of the net.
Did we see who scored the, just to clarify, the 2 goal scorers of those 2 goals? Was it Umbi for both?
I think it was Umbi both, yeah. I think it.
Well, that was Umbi as well, so surely that's his. Unbelievable performance anyway. And then, of course, the goals just kept tumbling.
Yeah, it really fell apart for Juventus before the technical difficulties, and Celtic were running rampant. It was unfortunate to see Celtic, I mean, just took their chances, and Juventus, they gifted them a lot of chances. I mean, we saw 9 shots before the technical difficulties in the first game, but you can't allow a team 9 shots in this type of competition if you are Juventus. So there's something again in game 2 they're going to have to address. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board and think about what went wrong and try and address it, because we still have a second game to come.
Yeah, where do we go from here? Juventus have got 3 points on the board. They jumped to 12 in the 12 points in the table. What do they do here? Do they go again? And I mean, surely you have to just attack it in the same vein.
You'd think so. I mean, again, it comes back to what we were talking about in the break, about how it's nice to see Celtic, a team who are on the outside looking in at those playoff spots, really go for it and really take the game to the opposition. If we see that again, I mean, the same result could come for them. I'm not sure if they'll get the same slices of fortune that we saw for a couple of their goals in the first game, but if they do, then the same thing could happen here. Juventus did not look very convincing whatsoever. And yeah, it's a very, very difficult situation to be in here if you're Juve, because you've already let 3 points slip. You had aspirations of maybe going top, but you needed all 6 points to do that, and that's not a possibility now.
So, Celtic with a brilliant performance in that first game, but Juventus are going to be hurting, Harry. They're going to want an instant response, aren't they?
Absolutely. And if I'm Celtic here, I'm very wary of that fact. I don't want...
The woken beast.
Exactly. I don't want to accidentally anger. Poke the bear is the term.
Well, they have poked the bear, and on this occasion, the final claw was inches away from the nose, but the referee brings it back for a free kick. I do love a situation in the commentary as Dybala's up there, Cuadrado's up there, all the big names. Ronaldo headed away, and it's going to be the first corner to be taken by Juventus.
Again, looking for the headers down in the box. We saw it from the free kick moments previous. It's so prevalent this year.
Headed down, drops to Morata, tries to turn, gets a shot away, but it's a scuffed one in the end, and Celtic can clear their lines, but not so far. And it's a chance here for Scandalo. He took too long, surely, but turned home by Eterito. And it's Juventus 1, Celtic 0. And Harry, business as usual, maybe.
Oh, maybe, but don't forget.
They scored first in the first game.
They scored first in the first game. This from Celtic, absolutely, I mean, suicidal defending. It really is. I mean, Horta did well to block the first one. Poor Scandalo didn't pull the trigger, was waiting for the goalkeeper to go one way or the next. Luckily, Eterito scores only his 4th goal of the season, which is, unusually low, but when you consider his assists so far this season, he's got 12, so he already has 3 times the amount of goals he has in terms of assists, and is the leading goal contributor in terms of goals and assists combined here for Juventus so far this season.
Juventus looking to compound that quick start. They're in again here, chance for 2. Great challenge there from Umbi. Had to make it. Scandalo plays it short to Eterito on the turn. Ricocheted cross, smashed away. Anywhere will do. Confirmation of Eterito's 4th goal. Yeah, like you said, only 4 goals is very surprising, but he's got a huge 12 assists in the competition.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's got 4 more involvements, I think, than any other Juve member.
Chance here for Celtic, though. Right foot shot coming in from Gagliardo. That was actually Horcha. As second shot goes up and over the bar.
A good response here from Celtic, just reminding the Juve defence how easily they carved them open in that first game. But yeah, maybe a better option there for Horcha on the first shot would have been to try and pass it across goal. Look for a teammate maybe, but the front post header wasn't very good either. But Celtic, they're building a bit here. They're starting to grow into this game.
They are, as Umbi's dispossessed, and it's up towards the halfway line. One back by Horcha, the captain. Turns to Gagliardo. One back, though, by Scandalo. And Eterito goes all the way back to Il Distratore, who, well, he loves a goal at the moment, Harry.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, he's in some incredible form. But it's Celtic who are chasing the goal at the moment.
Oh, that was a big chance there. Still might be. Just managed to smuggle it away. But regardless of anything, Juventus defensively, they haven't been great today. I know they haven't conceded yet, but they've gifted a couple of opportunities already to Celtic.
Yeah, they don't look as convincing as they have in match days previous. And a reminder to everyone at home, they came into today with the best defensive record in the league, and Celtic have just absolutely ripped up that script completely. They are having a lot of joy on the ball here, Celtic, and ever since the Juve goal, it's been, well, the Scottish club who have been on the front foot.
Well, they've got another chance here down the left-hand side. Good hold-up play this time, though, from Juventus. And a corner is always dangerous, and we know that Celtic can produce something quite special in these situations, as they did in the first game. This time it's towards the back post, headed down, but just out of the danger area, and a chance for Juventus to counter through Il Distratore, plays it through towards Eserito's numbers over on the far side. If they can find him, they go for the switch now, back into the middle. Great defending again. There is the league table, which means only one thing. There may be a goal on the horizon for Juventus. It's pulled back towards the edge of the area. Smashed away.
Vital pieces of defending here from Gagliardo. 2 in a row that spared the blushes of Celtic. It's nice to see Juventus come back and chase that second goal that they crave.
Anywhere will do from Celtic, but they just can't get out at the moment. It's in from Cuadrado again, deflected through to Barkas and fired downfield. Great kick out from the goalkeeper. And Umbi now finds Horcha, back to Umbi. Now finds Gagliardo. This is wonderful football from Celtic. A great team goal this might be. It just wouldn't fall for Horcha, I think it was. And Juventus survive.
Couldn't get in front of his man. He saw the run the whole way. You could see where the cross was intended, but unfortunately the defender was there first. And what a turn that is from Eserito.
Yeah, lovely drop of the shoulder from that man there. Cleared away. Eserito just coming to the boil. Scoring the first and producing a decent display personally. But he'd love to see 3 points for Juventus here after shipping 5 goals in the first game. They've yet to concede, although, like we said, they almost conceded to Celtic earlier on, and they might concede here again. Brilliant last-ditch defending there, this time from Luca Tubelli.
Half-time approaching very soon. I mean, there's been plenty of chances for both clubs here in the first half of this second game. Only 1 minute added on, though.
It's been far more open than the 1-0 scoreline suggests, that's for sure. And it has finished at the end of the first half. Fist pumps all round from the Juventus boys. They are happy with that scoreline. Could it have been better, though, Harry? And are they still looking a little bit shaky at the back?
I actually thought I saw some agitation there from Ettore. I think he was disappointed that they only went in at 1-0. He expects so much from his Juventus team. And just looking at the body language, they don't look ecstatic, do they? I mean, they know they still have a job to do here in this second half. It's only 1-0, so fair enough. They might be focused or in the zone. But the way I'm interpreting it is that they're not happy about something.
I'm sure, for whatever reasons, they'll be disappointed with their first match result. As going into any game, you'd look, as Juventus, to be taking 6 points, but against a team that's rock bottom, you'd be more than expecting at least very minimum 4 points from proceedings. But today they've come up against a very strong Celtic team, but Ronaldo's in and volleyed goals, looking to one-up the Celtic goals performances from the first game. Almost another wonder strike.
Yeah, and the form that Il Distratore's in lately, I wouldn't be surprised to see that find the onion bag, but it's only a corner. Solid strike, but too many bodies in the way. And well, the ball's up the right end of the pitch. Can Juve get their second goal?
In towards the near post, flicked on, down, great save. A world-class stop from the Celtic number 1. Hanging on here, Celtic. Eserito in towards Il Distratore. The referees penalised the Juventus striker for an offside.
Yeah, Celtic hanging on there for a second. You feel like there's another goal in this, 100%, after what we've seen in the first game. But you just feel like whoever scores the next goal, it might well define the final result, because obviously if Juve get their second goal, we know what they're like defensively. I mean, albeit not so far in this match, but Celtic, if they get their next goal...
Well, they've got a chance! And just like that, we said Juventus have looked shaky at the back, and it was a catalogue. It looked like a catalogue of errors at the back as the ball got played in, and it just ricocheted around and fired in with the outside of the right foot. And Celtic are currently, Harry, in 4-point dreamland.
or Juve, they just don't deal with it. It bounces really, really luckily, actually, right into the path of, I think it's Gagliardo, who then feeds it to Celtic's leading goal scorer and captain. Again, unfortunate not to get an interception. There's a great first touch to take it away from three Juventus defenders, and a Torre on the left-hand side absolutely berating the defending again. You're right, though. 4-point dreamland for Celtic. This is a humongous result, and Jorge is absolutely loving life right now. The team entered today bottom of the eFootball.Pro IQONIQ table. They had nothing to lose against Juventus, and they're playing like it too. 1-1. And I said the next goal may well define the end result of this match. Am I going to be right? I'm not sure.
Well, at the start of today, Juventus were sat right in the mix of the top 6. And Celtic, on 9 points, were right at the foot of the table. And this result, 5-2 in the first game and 1-1 as things stand in the second game, might just propel them to where they need to get to.
We can see there on the Juventus side of the screen, I mean, they've had 5 shots on target. It's just not had that clinical edge to the Juventus team that we saw from them in match days previous. I mean, think of the chances they took against Barcelona on the previous match day. They took all 6 points there, and they were really, really clinical. But also, defensively, they've been, I mean, a mixture of unlucky, but also just not enough authority on the ball. It's been really, really, again, a little bit lackluster on the defensive side of the ball for a team that had the best defensive record coming into this match day. Very uncharacteristic.
So I think we may be experiencing some technical difficulties. I'm not sure yet. Obviously, we'll clarify. They may just be deep in thought about where to go from here at Juventus, because they're sat currently with 1 point from a possible 6 in a hugely important week. Harry, to anyone joining us on the stream, can you please just refresh their memories on every single game that we've seen so far?
Every single game? Every single game? Are you sure?
Every goal from every game. Go.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. We'll start with Roma against Manchester United. That was the first game of the day. It was a 1-1 draw with Venom and Cams on the score sheet. In Game 2, Roma, with 2 Kepa goals, take down United to make 4 points out of a possible 6 in the first game of the day. Then, of course, following that, we saw AS Monaco versus Arsenal, didn't we? Both clubs sharing the points. The first game was 2-1 Monaco. And the second game, Arsenal, with a 3-1 goal differential to secure each team and each eFootball.Pro IQONIQ club 3 points. Following that, we saw Galatasaray against Bayern Munchen. Bayern looked a lot more like the team that we were expecting to see them in the first game, but then in Game 2, I mean, a 52nd minute Mucha hit goal equalised the score for Galatasaray and allowed them to snatch a point away from that. And then, as you can see, as it stands in match 4, if it remains this way, we'll see Celtic secure 4 points away from the team that took all 6 points away from Barcelona last match day. That's how crazy things are, Adam.
Crazy indeed. There is the table as things stand. Obviously, Arsenal remain at the top of the table there. Monaco in 2nd. Barcelona in 3rd. Remember, Barcelona yet to play. Juventus unable to make any ground so far today, unless they're able to win this game as things stand. Galatasaray at the foot of the table there as well. And I'm going to throw another one. going to throw another one to you, Harry. I'd like you to tell me how many yellow cards. I won't do that. Don't be silly. We're going to see a little bit of, hopefully, some of the highlights of the goals that we've seen so far. Hopefully, some of the wonder strikes that we saw in the previous game. But we go right back to the early games here with some of the goals and talk us through a few of these. Harry, a smashing goal there from Kepa.
Yeah, he found some real form today, didn't he? Oftentimes we look at Roxa as someone to step up for Roma. Then, of course, we saw another classic performance from Lotfi. He's been in some real top form at the moment for AS Monaco. Going somewhat under the radar, but, of course, we're highlighting him. And then Barbosa scoring 2 goals again today alongside Indominator. We see the Arsenal lads very happy with their performance, 3 points away from AS Monaco. And then it's vintage Bayern Munchen winning the ball from a throw-in to knock it down. Galatasaray on the score sheet as well. The captain, Mujahid, obviously I spoke to him. He was a little disappointed with how they played today, only grabbing the 1 point. It's not the end of the world, but certainly they would have liked to have tried and scoop themselves out of that bottom half of the table. But, I mean, it comes back to what we say every single match day. This league table this year is absolutely topsy-turvy. Any team can take points away from any other eFootball.Pro iconic club. And we're seeing it again here, Celtic versus Juventus. It's
the beauty of the 6-pointer because it can completely swing where two teams sit in the table. And, I mean, we touched on, of course, Arsenal being top so far. We questioned whether they were deservedly top in terms of whether we think they could go all the way. They kind of showed that today, didn't they?
I think so. I feel hard on them because it feels like we, always have questions about Arsenal and about the teams that are up there that maybe we're not used to seeing. But, I mean, they're proving this season that they can snatch results. A large part of it is down to Indominator's tactical work and how he sets the team up. But also, don't forget, there's 2 other members on that Arsenal team that are playing so well at the moment. Indejawa, yes, he didn't get on the score sheet today, but has been instrumental. He had a couple of back heel assists, don't forget. And Barbosa, who we know last season with Boa Vista was an absolute force. He was one of the reasons that Boa Vista was so high up the table at stages that they were. He was in, the top 3 goal scorers despite Boa Vista, maybe not challenging on all fronts. So I think we can genuinely consider Arsenal as genuine contenders now after the result against Monaco and the run-in that they have. I think we really should be looking at Arsenal as maybe the favourites at this stage of the season.
And Monaco, everyone seems to use them as the benchmark in terms of where they can go in the season. I still don't feel we've seen the Monaco of previous seasons. Do you think that is down to the team? Do you think it's down to the individual players? And do you think we have seen the limit to where they can go, or do you think they can improve?
I think they can still improve. I know Özmak Abil in the past has kind of identified the club's selection of players in the game as maybe, a weak point. Obviously, we are in stat balancing mode, but these players in the game have individual traits, as we've touched on before, like animations. AS Monaco don't have that many notable players that they are kind of have relied on in previous seasons. Remember the likes of Ben Yedder they were using and Ballo Torre have not been... We haven't really seen that same level of key component player for AS Monaco in the game this year. I still think they can improve. I really do. I mean, you can never count AS Monaco out, and there's a reason they are the only eFootball.Pro iconic club that has won a regular season title in the history of the competition. So don't count them out just yet. I still think they can improve.
And Bayern Munich, obviously rock bottom of the table going into today. 4 points from a possible 6. A decent day out, not perfect, but a decent day out. But do you think that was a real test today? Do you think we've seen a turn in fortunes, or do you think they weren't really tested against, on the day, fairly average Galatasaray performance?
I think we kind of earmarked them as a team that needed 4 points from this match day, didn't we? We kind of set that benchmark for them, and they accomplished that. I still think that sometimes matchups define the way that you play, and we know Galatasaray as a team make it incredibly difficult on you to try and break them down, which is why we didn't see the free-scoring Bayern Munich team that we've seen from previous seasons and in the eFootball.Pro Cup last year as well, which they went on to win, don't forget. They're in a really tricky spot right now because, I mean, they're on 13 points in the league. They're still outside of those playoff spots. We still have Schalke and Barcelona to play, and, of course, the conclusion of Celtic versus Juventus to come. All of those clubs we've just mentioned are above them. So if they gain more points, then it's further away from where Bayern Munich need to be that they end up at the end of this match day, and they need to start picking up points somewhere down the line.
Yeah. Remember, you can, of course, watch these games on the official club channels, and you've got the different campaigns that you can get a chance to win some eFootball points. The prediction campaign, which will start running again from match day 7. Well, the next game after this one will, of course, get back as soon as the technical difficulties have been resolved. The next game, Harry, will be Barcelona versus Schalke 04, another huge game, and well, both sitting inside the top 6 currently right now. Schalke just on the verge of toppling out after a disappointing match day 5. Barcelona, on the other hand, also had a disappointing match day 5, but they are higher in the table. They perform better so far, really. How do you see that one going?
I think a realistic target for Schalke, when you look at the league table at the moment, they are level on 15 points with Manchester United. I think if you can sneak a point away from Barcelona, I don't think it would be the worst result in the world for Schalke. When you look at Barcelona on the other side, who have aspirations of going top, they would need 4 points, I believe. So, I mean, 4 points to Barcelona and 1 point to Schalke would be a great result for both clubs. I know both of them would rather have the 6 points, but I don't think...
You think Schalke would be happy with 1 point today?
I'm not sure happy's the right word. I think they wouldn't be upset if they only got 1 point, because that would solidify their spot in the top 6. You can then look ahead to future match days, potentially easier matchups, because Barcelona is a team that no one wants to face in the league right now, apart from obviously Juventus, who dismantled them last match day. But it's a tricky matchup for Schalke.
Who are being dismantled by Celtic, who were bottom. It goes to show the quality of this competition. Now, if anyone wanting to know what is going to be happening as soon as it does happen, of course, we'll announce it. But what is going to happen is that we are going to, similar to what we did in the first game, due to the technical difficulties happening in the second half, we're going to replay 45 minutes. So the score will be 1-1 going into a final second half. And we will hopefully get a result from that to add to the 5-2 result from the first game. So Celtic with 3 points on the board. Currently, we sit at 1-1 at half-time in the second game is the gist of that. A couple of minutes and we'll be back there. Harry, it's a day of predictions. I keep throwing you to it just to put you on the spot. How are you seeing this second half playing out between these two teams at 1-1?
You know how much I hate giving predictions as well. So
which is why I keep asking you. Exactly. I'm a wind-up merchant, Harry.
You are. It was a very cagey second game, wasn't it, in that first half? It seemed like, again, Juventus, despite going in front, never really looked stable, and it never looked like they were going for the jugular against Celtic. I think that's what we need to see from Juve. You know, no matter what is happening technical difficulties wise, you still have to, you know, give it your all and properly go for it. So that's something we've seen these boys on your screen right now do. They've really attacked this matchup. They've really just left everything out there on the virtual pitch. So this next 45 minutes, I mean, Celtic, if they get 6 points away from this, I mean, they would be in the top 6, and they'd only be 1 point away from Juventus in the table looking at things. So yes, very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Indeed. And Juventus, of course, serial winners in the past, they will be absolutely distraught if they come away with nothing here, Harry. Even a point really out of 6 is simply not good enough in their eyes. So I would not like to be you in an interview after the game speaking to those guys, because I just know how much winning is everything for them.
And it's the same for every single competitor in this league. This is the highest level of eFootball PES 2021, and every single game matters. Is why we are so insistent on having the absolute paramount in terms of fairness and trying to make sure that competitive integrity is maintained wherever we can. And you're right, it's the nature of these competitors. They are very competitive. They want to win every single game that they can. And when they don't do that, it can lead to some obviously very disappointed members of the team.
So seconds away from the kickoff of the second half here between Celtic and Juventus. The score is deadlocked at 1-1. Remember, Celtic winning the first game 5-2 after Juventus took the lead, and they actually took the lead in this game as well and have been pegged back. And Harry, we've seen some defensive frailties from Juventus that we haven't seen really in the competition prior.
Yeah, so often on previous match days, we've seen someone step up for Juventus and make sure everything's solid at the back, and it's usually Eterito. Unfortunately, on this match day, in this instance, Celtic have found something, you know, to work around, and have absolutely, you know, forget knocking on the door. They've been absolutely smashing it down. So 45 minutes now, if Celtic can continue that same formula and keep on locking the door, they were to come away with 6 points from this. This would be a huge, huge turning point in their season.
So back underway. Again, apologies for any delays here. As I'm sure you can appreciate, we are all working remotely and it is difficult. But what isn't difficult is for Celtic to attack at the moment, because they have started the second half like they've been playing all day, but now they're cut open at the back, and it's Eterito, a chance for another goal. And Juventus take the lead just seconds after Celtic should have done the same.
Well, advantage Juventus. And at this level, if you don't take your chances, that's how quickly the game can change. It's only his 5th goal of the season. He's really stepped up, actually, today. His 2nd goal, the Juventus captain.
So calm, so calm.
I mean, he's been there for years in these types of situations. You'd put your house on him burying this. The PES League champion, of course, 2011 and 2018. 2-time world champion, co-op champion in 2018. 2-time Italian champion. You name it, he's been there and won it. And he stuck that one home in the opening 5 of this second half of the second game.
Perfectly weighted pass from Il Distratore, and Eterito, calm, composed, cut inside onto his favourite right foot and caressed the ball into the bottom right-hand corner. It's advantage Juventus, and they're looking to compound that with a third. It's Cristiano Ronaldo, and he's chipped the goalkeeper, and the wonder goals continue.
Well, there's a bit of style and a bit of flair left on this one by Lo Scandalo. He's had a quiet day, has had a quiet couple of match days, actually. He's been stuck on 9 goals for a good long time. But as soon as this one came into Cristiano Ronaldo's feet, he had one idea and one idea only. Lovely little chip, great bit of composure. That's a 2-goal cushion now for Juve, and makes things very difficult for Celtic to come back from.
That's the difference at this level. The quickness of thought there as the ball broke to him. He knew that the only way he was going to score was to lift it over the goalkeeper, and he did it in an instant. And unfortunately for Celtic, they've paid the price for a huge miss just seconds before Juventus took the lead, and now they have a huge uphill battle ahead of themselves with the remaining 35 minutes.
Tell you what, Lo Scandalo's having a great day as well for Juve. I mean, 2 assists today, and of course a goal to his name now as well. He and Eterito are really having a field day.
Well, you mentioned those two, but you've got to remember, Ildis has always got 2 assists and a goal to his name as well. But Celtic are right back in the match. 3-2.
What is this matchup? Can these two play each other every single week? 3-2. I mentioned Lo Scandalo up onto double figures. Horcha for Celtic is now on 10 goals for the season as well. The best goal scorer from the previous match day. He enjoys match day 5s. He was actually the MVP of last season's match day 5 as well, don't forget. Has scored a goal that throws Celtic a lifeline.
Well, well, well. We are not done yet. All I can say, Harry, is that for any game to have technical difficulties where we have to replay certain sections of a game, this is the game to do it, because it's been a chance a minute at this moment in time. And there's confirmation, as we said, of the double-digit haul for Horcha in the goals tally. Certainly the man taking this team by the scruff of the neck. And still the inquests in the Juventus camp, as Eterito is looking like a startled bear yet again. Up towards the halfway line. Hacked downfield. Now, will we see the... It's probably still a little bit early for gamesmanship, and Juventus may need a 4th to really secure the 3 points. This is how the table stands, with the 3 points shared from today. Juventus up to 3rd, but Barcelona, of course, yet to play, as are Schalke. Thought that was in then. I was looking at the table, but it's gone wide of the target.
And don't forget, we're only playing until half-time. So just over, or just under, I should say, 25 in-game minutes for Celtic to try and conjure something else up. That was very imaginative from Ildis Vitória.
Celtic come again. Again, some interesting defending there from Juventus. They're their own worst enemies here. Wonderful play from Celtic. He had to pull the trigger, Umbi. He tried to play it back across the face to Horcha one more time, and the chance goes away. Will they get a better opportunity than that? There is still 20 minutes left.
I just don't think Horcha was expecting the pass back. I mean, if he takes the first time shot, then he's probably 3-3. Similarly, if Umbi pulls the trigger, we'll probably see an equaliser there as well. But, oh, do not blink.
Off they go again. Morata plays it through. Big chance here. Lo Scandalo across the face. Had to shoot, surely. Tried to be unselfish. And the chance goes away. Will they rue that missed opportunity? I mean, what's going on at the back for Juventus? It's another chance here for Celtic. Morata finds Cuadrado, back to Morata again. Lovely ball through. Eterito looking for support on the right-hand side. This time goes to the left with Lo Scandalo. In towards Ildis Vitória. Deflection. Hacked away. It's all hands on deck at the moment. To be honest, it's carnage whichever way the ball goes. Defensively, all over the place, both teams at the moment.
Absolutely. And, well, less than 10 in-game minutes now for Celtic to chase that equaliser.
Keep hearing hoops and hollers from the players as the chance disappears. Oh, it's just, I mean, the emotions that are running through are just incredible at the moment. Kills you 15 goals, still topping the table and starting to break away. Challenge comes in. Still Celtic search. 3 minutes left for Juventus to hang on, cling on for dear life to this 3-2 scoreline, which will see them claim 3 points from a possible 6. But Celtic sense there's more in it for them. There's another chance here. It's Horcha, the captain. Can he get past the defender? Yes, he can. But the covering challenge from Il Distratore was absolutely impeccably timed. And Celtic are now in the dying embers of the final few seconds. It's last chance saloon to grab an unlikely equaliser. It's in towards a penalty area. It's hacked away, but the referee has given a free kick here, right on the edge of the area. Ronaldo's been booked.
I mean, no way you go for goal here, surely. You've got to try and play something short.
Go for goal. Top corner. Come on, Harry. Where's your faith?
Well, no doubt this is the final attack of the game. Last chance saloon, so bring everyone back if you're Juve. Get bodies back there. Make sure they're all marking. And making sure there are no gaps anywhere. Oh, my Lord. If we see an equaliser.
I think the kids call it top bins, I believe, today, Harry. That's what I want to see. Top bins. Question is, Harry, I know you love predictions. Are they going to score?
It's unlikely. It's very unlikely indeed. I don't think it will happen. But if it does, well...
If it does, keep your eye on those 3 players at the bottom right-hand side. Gagliardo, Umbi and Horcha, because they will probably disappear from the camera in celebration to the heavens above.
Oh, it all comes down to this. It's how's your nerve, how's your mettle? The pause time is up. It's game time now.
The referee has the whistle to his lips. There will be one last attack and then he will blow the whistle. They've gone short. It's in towards Gagliardo! Saved by the goalkeeper. That was the moment. It's a wonderful save. The question is, how much time will the referee allow? Will he even allow the corner to be taken in full? The answer is yes. It's in towards the back post. It's headed down.
Oh, Umbi's fouled.
No.
It's all over.
A great chance for Celtic. Jubilation for Juventus. A thoroughly well-battled 3 points for Juventus. Heartbreak for Celtic, but they will take immense pride in their first game performance, winning that one. 3 points apiece. You'd possibly have to say on paper, or not on paper, on the balance of play, it was a fair result, Harry.
I mean, yes and no. I'm not sure either club will be happy with how things ended up in the end.